Sam Raimi talks more details about Spider-Man 4. Let's talk about it. Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we're going to be talking more about the fact that Sam Raimi has been speaking more about Spider-Man 4 starring Tobey Maguire and more details about that cancelled film in interviews regarding Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, he was recently interviewed by the Rolling Stone, but before we do get into that, if you are new around here and you enjoy all types of Spider-Man content, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any news, updates about the movies, games, and the shows. And also, if you enjoy fan fictions and continuing lost stories and what ifs and all that kind of good stuff as well, then also make sure to hit that subscribe button because we do all of those videos as well. And also make sure to hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss another video. As soon as it gets out on the channel, you'll be one of the first ones to watch the video. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. So Sam Raimi has been talking to the Rolling Stone in regard to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and of course he was asked about Spider-Man 4, and this is what he had to say. He said, "If there was a great story in there, I think it would be my love for the characters hasn't diminished one iota. It would be the same things that would stop me now that stopped me then. Does Tobey want to do it? Is there an emotional arc for him? Is there a great conflict for this character? And is there a worthy villain that fits the theme of the piece? There's a lot of questions that would have to be answered. If those could be answered, then I'd love to." So Sam Raimi talks about the fact that a lot of things have stopped him in the past from making Spider-Man 4. And we know a big one of those was that he couldn't get the script ready in time, and he really wanted to work on this film and make it better than the third, and even better than the second. But Sony were on a strict timetable. They were already planning The Amazing Spider-Man just in case Sam couldn't make Spider-Man 4 and bring it out in time. We know that it had a release date in May 2011, and Sam just simply could not make that release date because he wasn't happy with the script for a few years. He wasn't happy with a few of the things going on at the studio. So Sony Pictures and Sam Raimi parted ways. However, Sam has said multiple times that he'd love to come back and do another Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire. And as he said in this quote here, there is a lot of things that he needs answering before he is able to go and make that movie. You can see that he is clearly invested in this character. You can see that he only wants to make a Spider-Man 4 if he can make it as good as the first two. That's all he wants because he's a passionate filmmaker. He's passionate about these characters. So does Tobey want to do it? Tobey has expressed interest in coming back as Spider-Man, so that's one checked off. Is there an emotional arc for him going forward after Spider-Man 3? Potentially. It depends what kind of story Sam Raimi wants to tell. Would it be something including Mayday Parker? Since Tobey Maguire and Kurstin Dunst are a bit older now, would that be a better story to tell? Or would it just be another classic Spider-Man story? Is there a great conflict for this character? Going forward, I could see Peter and MJ being married. There might be a conflict in that marriage potentially. I don't know. Is there any worthy villain that fits the theme of this piece? Well, talking of villains, Sam also talked about the things he missed from Spider-Man 4 that could have been. And speaking of villains, he also did say that he missed the really great cameo we had designed for Bruce Campbell, which was going to be Mysterio. And then he also went on to say, "And I missed Kraven the Hunter. We were going to work that character into the next Spider-Man. I always wanted to see Kraven fight Spider-Man on the big screen. I thought that would be really unique. He's the ultimate hunter, and Spider-Man is like the most agile trickster of the skies. And I wanted to see Peter continue forward as a human being." So there are three things there that Sam Raimi really missed from making Spider-Man 4. Obviously, Bruce Campbell, his really good friend. He made films with him from a very young age, started his career out with Bruce Campbell. Obviously, he was going to play Mysterio. He made a cameo in Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 as well. So having him be Mysterio in the fourth movie was really, really cool. There was actually concept art of Mysterio for Spider-Man 4. And then obviously Kraven the Hunter, which is a weird one because there were so many rumors regarding Spider-Man 4 around the time that Carnage was going to be the main villain. There was rumors of Hobgoblin. There was rumors of Dr. Connors finally becoming the Lizard, which could have been worked into the Kraven the Hunter storyline. Maybe Dr. Connors was the one that Kraven was hunting. And also there was concept art of the Vulture, who was rumored to be played by John Malkovich, which would have been really, really cool as well. However, Sam really misses the idea of bringing Kraven the Hunter into Spider-Man 4. And obviously we've never seen Kraven on the big screen until the Kraven movie that's set to come out in the next few years on the Sony Pictures. But having as a Spider-Man villain in a Spider-Man movie, it's something that we have never seen. So to have had that in Spider-Man 4 would have been really cool. And then obviously he goes on to say, and he wanted to see Peter continue forward as a human being. And that is a big crucial element of Sam Raimi's stories, is that he really tries to humanize the characters. And one thing in the Spider-Man trilogy that really, really stuck out to a lot of people is how human Peter Parker was. And obviously I don't mean that in a literal sense, I mean that in more of a metaphorical sense, in that the movies were about Peter Parker Parker. They weren't about Spider-Man. They were about the inner conflict of Peter Parker. They were about the ego, the faults, the regret, the loss of Peter Parker. It was all centered around Peter Parker, and then he would go on to fight the villains as Spider-Man, and those villains would usually parallel or tie into the main story of Peter Parker in that movie, which was a dynamic that worked really well because it allowed Peter to really relate on a different level to the villains as well, which I thought was really, really good in those movies. And obviously Sam really misses that element of the Spider-Man movies, and something that he would bring back for Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire if it ended up happening. Now, I already covered this in a video a couple of years ago, but I'm going to cover it here as well. How would Spider-Man 4 actually be made? Would it be live action, or would it be an animated feature? Now, these are two possible options, and there are a lot of things to consider when we're thinking about how Spider-Man 4 would actually be made, because obviously Sam Raimi, as we know, and Tobey Maguire have expressed interest in potentially returning to the franchise. So there are two possible ways, and two main ways really. One of them is obvious, it's live action. You know, we continue Spider-Man 3 and it's just the same as it was before, but the obvious cons of that is that Tobey Maguire is a bit older, so if you wanted to tell a story that happened straight after Spider-Man 3, it would be a bit harder to tell in terms of continuity. And then the next option, which I think is a likely candidate as well, it could be an animated feature, just like Into the Spider-Verse. And the reason I say that is because Sony has seen success with Into the Spider-Verse and sees how well those movies are doing, and to have Spider-Man 4 be an animated feature could be a possibility. Obviously, this takes away the problem that Tobey Maguire and the rest of the cast would be a bit older, since it would only be their voices, so this could also work as well. However, is Spider-Man 4 going to happen? I'm not really too sure. It could happen, it might not happen, but tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think of Sam Raimi talking more about Spider-Man 4? And I think since he's going around doing all these interviews for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we're going to get a lot more info regarding Spider-Man 4 in the near future. But because he's talking about it so much, does this open up the possibility of potentially Sony allowing him to make a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire? Like I did say, tell me in the comment section down below. Also, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and tell the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy my content, because then that gets my videos out there more, and that means more people can see them, which is really, really great, and it really helps me. But if you also did enjoy it, then just hit a like anyway. If you enjoy all these types of videos, from the news, from the games and the movies and the shows and the breaking news and everything like that, and also fan fictions as well, then like I did say at the start of the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you do not miss another video as soon as it gets put up on this channel. And also, if you want great superhero inspired clothing that you can wear to the gym and casually out and about, even with your friends, I give you I Am Superhero, who have clothing designs based on Spider-Man, Batman, and many more of your favorite superheroes. Click the link in the description if you are interested. And with that being said, on your left you will be able to see a video personally chosen for you based off other videos you already enjoy, and on your right you can see my most recent upload. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.